We are going to make it right.
If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know?
The commander is here.
What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out.
Don't got pop your butt.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
Oh, welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the channel that pumps Bitcoin's price by you hitting the like button. Today is Wednesday, June 21st, It's 11:32 a.m. Do we start 2 minutes late? No, you're 2 minutes late. How are we all doing today? I'm feeling great. Guys, I opened a long in the middle of the stream yesterday. If you open that long with me and you use a very safe 5x leverage, guys, we're up 100%. We are up 100%. Wait a minute, no, 50%, 50%. It just feels like 100% to me. Yeah, we are, we're moving on up. 90 was 97%. We're up 95.93%, now 97% on Cardano, and Bitcoin's pump is pretty similar. So guys, we're up huge. We are up huge. I love it. How are you doing today, Tim? Did you get a trade in?
I actually so I got out of one right above 25.2, got back in. So this was a bad trade. I actually bought in higher than I sold, but I saw the rally. I bought back in around 26.3 or so.
Okay.
And so I'm up a little bit on that one.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Also, I posted that market buy of 1,000 at 26 cents. Alpha Wave. Hell yeah. DZ on, working on the roof currently, listening in. Well, you're typing on the roof. Be careful. Fun story. I am scared of heights. I did painting for a while, and that was definitely my weak point. I remember trying to paint the trim of an exterior window on a roof of a, nicer home. I think it was third floor. From window to gutter was maybe 24 inches of a inclined roof, and I remember just trying to huddle on this thing, like painting this trim, and I am done. I cannot do this anymore. I'm proudly scared of heights. Why are people into heights? You ever see people scaling buildings and stuff?
We need to go through a list at some point, DZ, of all the things you're scared of.
I'm not that scared of spiders, okay? I'm not that scared of spiders.
You're scared of heights. Are you scared of your own shadow?
5 o'clock shadow, clearly, because I don't shave. No, look, if I had to choose one fear, it's heights. Number 2 would be flying insects that can sting you. My mother had a true phobia.
True.
And she would go into, rest her soul in hysterical tears. She would go into hysterical tears at the sight of one bee. If it flew around her head and, maybe did 2 circles, it is full-blown crying, hysterical tears. I'm not an exaggeration here. She was climbing on bee boxes, the things with the little slats with honey. When she was 5, this is all the way back in 1960. She's playing around like, that kind of fits the narrative of 60s parents. Like, who cares? Let the kids climb around on bee boxes. Yeah. Well, they collapsed, and they got all over her and my uncle, and they said they're pulling bees out of their hair and off their skin, really messed her up. So she had a full-blown phobia. And so she passed down some of that to me. I remember her freaking out. I'm 6 years old. That adult is freaking out at a flying insect. I should freak out too.
Are you saying your mom was one of the original milk carton climbers? Like, she did it before it was she's the one that made it become big time, but she used bee boxes?
Yes, it was her. It was her. All right, let's get into the show, folks. Thank you for the little nostalgic rant there. Ben is in Dubai. He's going to be back. He said Dubai. Oh, you know what? That was a good one, Mr. Techno Goody there. All right, guys, if you're not subbed, make sure you're subbed right here. You click if it says subscribed. If it doesn't, make sure it does. Hey, got a little super cut of DZ right there. Let's see. We go to the lives. Where are we at? We're at 1.5. We need to get that higher, folks. Let's get these numbers higher. Where are we at on the likes right now?
We currently are sitting at 200, and it's climbing, 262 likes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, DZ. We need to get to 500 likes for Bitcoin to cross 30K, because we're hitting our head right now. We're deciding if we really want to do it. But we get to 500 likes in the next 5 minutes, I think we're going to cross the 30K.
Oh, I think we can. So go ahead, take a second. Go ahead, please hit that. Guys, on Twitter, they have suspended ATB Daily. There's a couple tweets. If you go on my timeline, you can see it. Big shout out to Mind Your Biz. Seth did a really exemplary job, raising some awareness to it. So we'll get into the Twitter minute later on. If you're not following, hit slots on kick.com. What are you doing? You need to go ahead and do that. No views, but that's okay, because we got 2 more followers. Yesterday it was 11. Today it's lucky 13. That is a huge, huge increase. I know those are rookie numbers, guys. Let's get those numbers up. We really got to get them up. Hitmerch.com. I'm not rocking the merch right now. It was dirty. Okay, guys, it started to stink. Okay, I got the DZ funk and I had to wash it. So forgive me, but I'll be back in some merch tomorrow, all right? What was said? We don't know what was said on the ATB Twitter. What we do know is our last poll was choose your fighter, and we said Microsoft or Google. and it was for AI. And I guess maybe they didn't like that. I don't know if that's I don't know if it was totally unrelated to that, or if just people mass reporting it, or maybe copycats, or maybe there's some other thing that stands for ATB. But we're the original ATB around the blockchain. KuCoin, pretty easy to use. I like it, is what I use as an American for any kind of non-KYC semi-centralized exchange there. DZ the spark plug, always keeping it lit. What are you talking about? I'm not keeping anything lit. People in Dubai do not like the Flintstones. People of Abu Dhabi do.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that was good. That was good. All right, P Thunder. All right, I peed a little bit with that because I a little chuckle there. All right, who do we have? Oh, wait. Before Swee. We're looking at Swee yesterday. Oh God, what am I doing here? I just want to click on it and move. All right, let's go to CoinGecko. Let's see, what is the coin market cap doing? I'm guessing it's moving up in a serious way, folks. We are up 8.6% as a whole. Market cap has skyrocketed past 1.1. I think it was like 1.105. Now we're already at 1.2. Love to see it right there. 24-hour volume is up to $64 billion. Bitcoin dominance, 48%. ETH dominance, 18.5. Gas, 42. Gwei. Guys, today is a fantastic day in the market. You can see it right here. Bitcoin is moving, and it is moving in a serious way. 11.5%, guys. Let's just click on it real quick. We opened a long, oh my God, literally 24 hours ago, right? Because I did it right after the next section. I think it was with the chart section. So 23 hours and 55 minutes. Maybe I'm off by 5 minutes. We opened along. I did it with Cardano, but this had a similar price action. Looking pretty good right now. We're feeling good. So hey, shout out to all the copy traders right now. It was just Kelly made me feel so bullish. I haven't bought Bitcoin in the last 48 hours, but I have bought in the last 2 weeks. All right, well, let's keep scrolling here. We have Cardano. I opened a long in Cardano. I am up 10.5% with 5x. So yeah, we're up 50%. I'll say in 97, it's 57. Tron up barely. It is almost looking like a loser, only gaining 3.7%. Solana has a nice pump. Polygon and Litecoin have a nice pump. If you listened to ATB last night, you probably would have market bought some Litecoin. You turned so bullish. So if you did, hey, you are up. Don't be afraid to take some profits, especially in a trade. Wrap Bitcoin, obviously going to follow Bitcoin's price. Avalanche on the way up. Uniswap, and then Chainlink up 8.2. Whoa, look at Bitcoin Cash. Oh my God. We also talked about Bitcoin Cash yesterday. This was one of the 4 currencies traded by the new Citadel-backed exchange. And then we have something up 25%. We have a Citadel-backed exchange open, and then one of their 4 currencies, Bitcoin Cash, other Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. What do we all see into some of the top movers today? Those 4 coins themselves. So is it related? Is it a coincidence? We don't know. But guys, are you sitting down? Are you ready? This is going to get real serious, okay? Some of you may get faint of heart. So if you have been, all right, let's just click on this. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I don't even know what Cyber Harbor was. Clearly not in the top 100 yesterday because it has moved 88%. Let's just click on this. I'm guessing a newer coin here. Was it less than 7 days old? Let's see. All time, if we hit max, we're going to see, yeah, this launched in the end of March. We're, towards the second half of June. So about a month old coin here. Not even, I believe. Flat. When you see something like that, that just means there's really no money in the market. Whoa, look at that pump at one point. Yeah, so was even higher. So yeah, 88%. That's just rookie numbers compared to about 4 or 5 hours ago. All right, back to the top gainers. We have Pepe. What? Pepe is moving 33% today. Bitcoin Cash, with its 25% pump, is only coming in at number 3. Conflux, what some call the Chinese Ethereum, is up 24.4. Stacks is up. Did we just do a Stacks video?
We just made a Stacks video. I think it's going out on Thursday.
Oh man, those editors! If only they could have. The editing team, they do a great job here. So it was part of the. Guys, we were ahead of the curve. When did we shoot it? Do you know when we shot it? Because Ben's been gone for days.
Yeah, we shot it Thursday or Friday.
Man. Guys, we were ahead of the curve, but we didn't get it out fast enough. Guys, we apologize.
Darn it.
But if follow some of these socials, you might get some a sneak peek to some of our videos that do come out. Injective is up about 20%, Flow up 20%, Render, Optimism, everything is just feeling so optimistic. Arbitrum is up. Basically, if you bought anything, you're probably up, except for these few losers. I don't even know if there's going to be anything. It could just lead with stable coins at 0%. What managed to fall in the sea of green? Not much. Yeah. Stablecoin. Okay. So I was right. Yeah. We just saw stablecoins here. DAI is over collateralized. So you see it at $1, even though it fell 0.5%. It means it was probably, worth $1.50. So now it's, coming in still. Wow. Not a single thing in the red. The shorts got wrecked. The bears got wrecked. But those perma bulls, we're feeling good. I'm feeling great. Who do we have on the charts today?
We got Mr.
Beast.
I think he's
Mr.
preparing
X?
himself.
Who?
But we got the Mr. Frankie Candles coming on.
Candle
But I want to
Mafia
make
time.
sure is he Frankie. I'm going to see if he's ready because
All
he's
right.
sitting there playing with charts.
Is Frankie ready? We like to call him the Russ Hannerman of crypto.
Yeah. Shout out to Ross Hanneman. I am here. I did just spill oh God, this couldn't have been more stereotypical. I just spilled espresso all over myself. But yeah, let me give me like 13 seconds.
I'll juggle a bit while you clean up the marinara or whatever he did. What do you drop some meatballs or something? I don't know. You know how those Italians are. He's got his noodles. He eats spaghetti for breakfast, folks. Okay, that's how Italian Frankie is. Parisi. I mean, come on. King Peasant, he's in the Candle Mafia. Crimson Caravan, S-Dog, the chef. The chef is always cooking up. Now, don't try to cook with a candle. It's probably going to take a really long time, unless you're like heating up a small cracker or something. Clickbait Boy. Now, we're going to go over some pricing targets. There are people, I don't think we're going over to 220 or whatever the number was, 228. Was that
228.
I'm what many would consider more of a bearish outlook. I think we're going to struggle to get over 100K. Me and Tim were talking. I can see 97K being the top. Bill Brasky. There you go, John. How you doing?
But yeah, thanks for having me again, D's. Now that my leg is singed. But yeah, guys, super exciting price action on Bitcoin as we are getting this absolute moonshot. So
now, hold on, man. Your leg hair. What are you like pouring candle wax on your calves? Is this some sort of weird ceremony? Because you're singeing hairs with espresso. I don't know if I buy it.
We got candles, we got espresso, we got everything, and it all happens to be really hot. I do think I have maybe a 2nd-degree burn on my leg here. But hey, at least, never mind.
All right, well, I'm gonna open a short on wax protocol then.
Yeah, there you go. Also, shout out, I saw INJ getting a nice little pump here. That was my staff pick for Crucial Crypto. So shout out to INJ.
Good job.
But we do have some crazy stuff happening. Shout out to DZ. Nice trade, bro. Nice trade. I'm going to start copy trading you. But no, guys, I do kind of want to just jump in here, and I want to take a look at a few things. Now, I'm just going to go over the volume profile really, really quickly. Let me go ahead and share my chart real quick. Now, I do just kind of want to, on a very, very simple level here, I do just kind of want to take a look at the volume profiles, because something that, let me just go ahead and hide this really quickly. Something that I kind of been talking about a lot, right? I talk about the volume profiles constantly, but something we were talking about as we started to lose this range. First off, we were looking to lose this range and get a bearish retest before getting a big move to the downside. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is a free tool on TradingView. You don't have to buy this. You don't have to pay for it. It's not a subscription. It's a free tool, and is one of the most powerful things that I've ever found in my trading career. And again, it's free. There's zero barrier to entry here. Now, what you could basically do is anytime you have a volume profile like this, inside of this range is considered a fair price for Bitcoin. I talk about these all the time, but I don't know if people fully understand. When price is inside of this range, it is considered like a fair value. And then kind of how I think about it is anytime you come outside of this range, you would think to the upside, you would consider this overbought. And then anytime you come outside of that box, you would consider that oversold, right? So now, obviously, you're not just, anytime you deviate away from the range, you would expect to potentially get sucked back in. Obviously, you're not always going to be ranging. You're going to break out at some point. Eventually, you're going to finally break out and stop ranging. But that's kind of why we were looking, as we were getting a breakdown from here, we were looking for this kind of bigger move to the downside. We broke down, bearishly retested, got that move down. And I was talking about this on this show a lot in the past week or so, as we saw our money flow start to curve back to the upside, specifically on the 4-hour time frame, you can see your money flow is generally starting to curve back to the upside, specifically this area right here. This is where I essentially flipped from favoring shorts this entire move down. As soon as we lost this value area high, I knew it was going to be more likely due to the volume profile. We came out of this range, became overbought essentially, and once we got accepted back into the range, I actually went short at the break of this level, and I knew once we got below this range, we would likely come back down to the POC and eventually the value area low, and that's basically how the volume profiles work. Once you hold support on the value area low, you would expect to come back up towards the high, and this works more often than not, and if you watch my channel, you'll know this very clearly, right? Because we look at this all the time, and it plays out time and time again. However, when we came out of this area down here and we saw our 4-hour money flow starting to curve back to the upside, amongst other things, we also had bullish divergences forming down here, which could actually signal a significant bottom coming in, especially when you have money flow coming up as well. And that is where, I don't know if you guys saw, where I had this position. This was actually a trade setup that we put in the premium Discord. Actually almost sniped almost the exact bottom. We got in a little bit above 20K, 25K. I think the actual entry was like 25-20 something. But almost caught that bottom exactly. But something I want to point out here is the idea behind this trade was essentially to just long this up to the next important level of resistance, which was that value area low. And we knew once we got up to this level, I would be taking profits. However, if we were able to get back above this level and hold that value area low to support, simply due to the volume profiles and the way they work and the way they behave with price action, we knew once we held that level to support, it was very likely that our next stop on next price stop would be the point of control, which we did get hung up a little bit on yesterday. I made a market update yesterday about this, talking about, this is, expected to come up to that POC once you hold support here. Come up to that POC, you kind of get a little bit of turbulence, but then once we flip this to support, we are expecting to get that move up to the range high, coming in at around 28 to 29K. And it happened like it was a textbook volume profile move. You hop up, hold that value area low. Now you're expecting to eventually get to the range high, but you're also expecting turbulence at the POC. You literally saw exactly that. Little bing bong around here on the POC, and then boom, right up to your value area high. To be honest, it's not always that clean. This just happens to be an extremely clean example. But this is stuff we've been talking about on my live stream for a long time. And, this is the power of the volume profile, and this is how we're able to snipe these moves, is because we have context into these levels. So right now, obviously, we've gotten that big move to the upside. Our next big level of resistance is essentially was this 786, right? Now, this is the 786 retracement level when you pull your fib all the way from the high here from about 31K all the way to the low down here at about 24.7. And we smashed through this golden pocket and the value area high. And then we came up to test this 786, and we are starting to push above this. Now, obviously, we do have some time on this 4-hour candle. We could wind up coming back down, but this is kind of the line in the sand for me. This is where I'm expecting resistance. And if we don't get it here and we wind up ripping past this 786, I think there's a good chance we can come a bit higher here. And before I let you guys go, there's a lot of things on the higher time frames supporting a bigger move to the upside. And again, we've been talking about this on my live stream at 5:45 p.m. And some of those things, guys, weekly green dot is now printing. This is extreme. This is pretty bullish in my opinion. Money flow also starting to come up, but really, in my opinion, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the weekly looks great," and it does. It totally does. But I'm like the weirdo trader where I'm like, "Have you seen the 6-day?" So the 6-day is actually the time frame to me that looked absolutely beautiful. We talked about this on my live stream the past couple of days. Money flow beautifully coming to the upside, looking for a crossover into the green, which we have now gotten. But more importantly than just that money flow crossover, we also have this tiny little trigger wave on Market Cipher B, and you have a massive anchor wave down here. Now, typically with these, especially when you have money flow coming up, sometimes when you print these trigger waves that are very close to the 0 line, which is just the center line of this indicator, when you get these tiny little trigger waves, sometimes they can cause really, really big reactions to the upside and or the downside, depending on, this trigger wave right here obviously caused a massive bear market. But, these do cause very big moves to the upside very often. And last night on my stream, I was looking at this and saying, guys, when you have a big anchor wave, aka, you know, you could think of this as a handle. I don't want to start saying words that YouTube might not like, but you got a big handle here, right? And then maybe you got something that looks like this. Here's your little trigger wave. Maybe that object I'm talking about looks something like this, right? It's a little wonky, but I think you guys get what I'm talking about. You have your handle, your trigger, and then when you pull that trigger, aka print the green dot, that is where you usually get that bang to the upside.
JFK moment.
There you go. And
Peel
that's
your
what we were
wig
talking
back.
about last night. Played out perfectly, and things look really good. This is a 6-day. It's a high time frame. I do think we could see some continued upside if we can break this 786, which is coming in at about, I'll just give you guys the number, $29,702. If we break this, I do think we see more upside for sure.
All right, great stuff. And real quick, can you just repeat what that free indicator is called?
This is it's just the fixed range volume profile. If you go to TradingView,
volume profile. Okay.
Yeah, just go to TradingView, go to your indicators, type in volume, and you'll see fixed. It should pop up. It should be easy to find.
All right, great stuff. And I'll just walk you through what I was thinking. Can we share my screen? I don't know if Frankie can see it. I saw you were talking about the trigger waves, and I saw something similar on the 2-hour with Cardano when Kelly was talking, and you can see it right here. I don't know if it's a little too low. I saw that. I saw a little bit of bullish divergence, and I just said, you know what, YOLO. And literally, that is the candle from 24 hours ago. I opened my long somewhere along this 2-hour candle, that nice little red dip there. So hey, TA,
trade,
some people call it, you know, all voodoo magic, but sometimes there's something there, man. Frankie, always a great time. Thank you.
I got one question for Frankie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you trade on? What do you recommend people going to use for an exchange?
Yeah, I mean, I do trade on a bunch of exchanges. I trade a lot on my main exchanges are like BitGet, Femex. Shout out to BitGet. Chart section brought to you by BitGet. But if you guys want to sign up for BitGet, I'm sure Tim will drop the link in the chat. But yeah, probably BitGet is like one of my main exchanges. But I do flip flop around. It's really a lot of times what I do is like if I'm looking to long or short a coin, I'm just like sometimes I find some weird exchange that I can short certain coins on, and I'm like I'm just making an account because I want to short this right now. But yeah, shout out to BitGet. I was actually wearing a bunch of BitGet gear yesterday. I had a hat, a shirt on. But yeah, the reason I like BitGet, real quick, I'll just say this. They have a reversal button, which is kind of degenerate, but I absolutely love it. You can go long, and if you just want to go short, you could just click that reversal button, and it just it closes your long at the current mark price, and it'll just flip you short, so you don't have to do anything. You just click that button, flip short, and just ride it back.
I like that. Yeah, cool.
It's
Good
awesome
stuff there. All right, Frankie, always great stuff. Make sure you join him at the Candle Mafia, Frankie Candles. So that's where they find your stuff. And make sure you join the Discord, one of the best Discords out there.
Absolutely. Asapasadizzi.
All right, man, later on. All right, good stuff there. Yeah, I'm feeling good about my trade. I did move my stop loss heavily into profit, if you're wondering. Looking at this chart, though, if I click on the 15-minute, just a little DZTA. Now, this isn't, you know, by any means, you know, trade off of this. I look at stop loss hunters, and I feel like, all right, so a lot of people are going to put their stop loss right there, you know, like, yeah, you know, if it goes below that, it might flip into resistance. I feel like a stop loss hunter wants me to have it there, so I'm going to go just like a little bit lower. And actually, my stop loss is like 27.9. What am I talking about? I want to make sure I get some good profit, so I'm not going to ride it back down, get stopped up, and then it goes up again. I got mine heavily into profit. Maybe I'll open another long if we hit some other points of control there. All right, you ready to talk some of these headlines, dude?
Let's do it.
We got good stuff today, guys. We're talking about the Bitcoin, these crazy prices. We got some funny accounting going on with our government, which you know might upset you. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. And one more thing, some flash loans and some Ethereum drama we're going to get into. But all right, let's get right into it. The Daily Hodl. Trader Peter Brand says Bitcoin will outlast all other assets, crypto assets, as Bitcoin dominance breaks 50%. I think that's pretty fair statement, right? Yeah, I think Bitcoin's going to stick around for longer than anything else, even Ethereum, even Cardano. I'm sorry. He's now updating his outlook on BTC dominance, sharing a chart from a Bitcoin investor that shows the index has taken out the range resistance. Yeah, okay, you can see here. I would say maybe that range would go above this candle right there. So I think they're being a little bit favorable, but well, we got a point there, we got a point there, we got a point there. So, all right, I'll give it to him here, but just be careful. Sometimes, you know, you might test a range and then just come right back below. You can see we tested the bottom. All right, meanwhile, Don Alt is looking at the combined market share of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ooh, I like that. Instead of Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin ETH dominance. According to the trader's chart, They now account for about 70% of the crypto's total market capitalization. Don Alt says Bitcoin's on the rise following the news of BlackRock's filing for a spot ETF, a narrative that is not shared by other crypto assets. I think it will be, though, eventually. Just like we saw with Grayscale, other investment vehicles, we're going to see the same thing with BlackRock. I think eventually. I don't know if it'll be immediate, but I think it'll. I don't drive a Mustang, guys. Okay, I drive a Chrysler 300. That's old. I was talking about my car yesterday. I haven't had a car payment in years. I'm not sure how long. Maybe 2 at this point. So that means I've had my car for a good period. I think it was a 4 or 5 year loan, 5 year loan that I paid off early. Maybe I paid off in around 5. So I've been in my same vehicle for a while. What about you?
What year is your Chrysler?
Oh, it's not newer. It's my second 300 in a row, and I think I went from 2010 to 2012 or 2012 to 2014. It's a 12 or a 14. Yeah. It's about a decade old.
No, I have a truck. I have a 2021 Toyota Tacoma. Love it. It's been treating me well. But the car before that was a 1997 Honda Accord.
Nice.
I'd never driven. I'd driven a car, but I'd never owned a car newer than 1997 until like 3 years ago. If
you don't have a car payment because you like to put more money into crypto, type in what you drive. My last car I bought, though, I paid $5,000 or $6,000 Cardano for a 02 Nissan Titan, 5.6 liter. I still have it. Just got it running just last week. So hey, maybe we go low. I'll sell it and I'll get more Cardano for it. It'll just be my Cardano in and out DCA strategy. Yeah. I just flip a truck back and forth. All right, Bitcoin rallies towards 29,000. Haha, old news. Rallies towards 30,000 following BlackRock.
It touched 30,000.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And Wisdom Tree and Invesco ETF plays. The largest token by market cap edged towards 30 during trading hours on the back of growing interest from these major players and from TradFi. The price strangely skyrocketed on Binance US, peaking at 138. Now, you tweeted about this. It's my understanding very, very few people, if you did have some sort of take profit level take there, very few people would be able to participate in that. It's a very short order book. It's not like everybody who had it would be able to do that. It would be a very, very small amount of orders would be filled. If any,
I mean, the truth is, I don't even know if any orders.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might have just been a bug that went on. It's just a curious thing. It really weird seeing. There's been other times where we've seen scam wicks give us some sort of indication on where price is going. I'm going to be real with everybody. I put about 0.00002% stock in this $138,000 price on Binance.us. So.
Yeah. All right. Looks like the oldest 87 Silverado. Okay. They've been stacking Satoshis for a while, maybe with that. All right. A lot of Toyotas, some Beamers. My man's pushing the Lincoln. All right. Camrys. 84 Monte Carlo SS. Nice, man. That's really close to the car in training day, I believe. My first vehicle ever. 84 Buick Regal, in which I believe they have the same platform. So we have very similar cars there. I do want my crypto I made it vehicle. It's going to be an old school big body. That's what I want. It could be a 72 Plymouth. You know what I mean? I'm just a bigger guy. To me, it's not going to be a Lamborghini. Okay, I haven't even driven the Lamborghini one time because I would look like a complete clown climbing in and out of that vehicle. All right, it's for average American male height people. Okay, not as 6'3" Chads. All right, well, speaking of Chads, we got the six-pack man himself, Chamath Palihapitiya, warns the Sultan of Sweaters here, warns massive debt wall to hit corporate America and incinerate equity values. I believe he said this on the All In. Now he tells us he was tweeting this, telling his followers the biggest secret hiding in plain sight is the debt wall about to hit corporate America. We've talked about the debt wall hitting vehicle sales and consumer credit cards. He's talking about the debt wall with corporate America, but a lot of this might have to do with real estate. Prepare for a bunch of companies who will not be able to refinance their debt and will thus see their equity value incinerated. This will hit the private equity industry very acutely, whose core playbook involves wrapping their companies in gobs of high-yield debt. Palihapitiya recently forecasted that interest rates would be staying higher than you want for longer than you like, particularly on the heels of China cutting rates as its economy slows. All right, so big debt bills. You have Walmart. They're financing. We're going to build 1,000 superstores. We're going to take on some massive debt. I'm just throwing out some random, example here. I don't know if Walmart's one of these people with corporate debt. And then you know, they kind of play a game of kick the can down the road. Well, all of a sudden there's some bills due and they can't refinance. And then the sky, you know, we got high interest rates looming around the corner. They're going to say, yeah, well, we want to refinance our debt. You know, we want to kick the can down the road. And they got this piece of paper like, hey, who wants to help us do that? And meanwhile, the banks are like closing their doors. You know, they're closing the blinds. They're not answering their phone. And they're like, guys, I got some big bills due in like 7 months. I really need to refinance this. I got a big debt wall coming. Please answer my phone. And then they're not going to do it. You know, then they're going to look at their asset balances. They're like, holy crap, this company's underwater with their real estate. They're underwater with this. We have declining sales. They have AI cannibalizing their percentage. And then they're going to say, we're not going to take on their debt. And then that will kill a certain number of companies. I don't know who, I don't know what, I don't know the percentage, but that's just the scenario that's going to play out where that playbook will happen, and then they'll have to close their doors because they can't pay their employees. Robinhood, easiest way to jump between USD, crypto, stock, commodities via debit card. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to flip trucks, though. Oh, go ahead.
That's a buddy of mine, Crux. He does stuff. He's in our community, the Investing Bros community. Him and T Shroom, those who know him, they're big on Robinhood, and they love them some Robinhood. He's trying to convince me to get in there. He's right for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they literally are shutting the doors to everything else crypto.
Yeah, I used Robinhood last week with that big tumble where, you know, Cardano hit 21 cents, Bitcoin plummeted. Yeah. I bought 1 share of Coinbase just to, you know, show my solidarity. The day after I bought it, BlackRock announces them as their corporate partner for custody. Hey, I feel pretty good long term on that little share. I think it's like $50. I don't know. The lowest coin was 3 or 30. I think it was 300. So we'll see how it plays out next bull run. I'll keep you up to date with my stock portfolio. Yeah. A little Microsoft, I'd have to check, but much less what I used to have. Let's see, about 13 years ago. So right around Bitcoin created, right before, I was deep in tech stocks. If only I was buying Bitcoin. All right, let's see. We got a little accounting error, what I consider a small accounting error. Accounting error revised up to $6.2 billion for money that's missing that went to Ukraine. You know, we can fluff it up as a Ukraine accounting error. I'm not going to say stolen, but, you know, if this money's not found, I mean, what is it if it's not stolen? Ukraine money, we have billions missing, unaccounted for. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Presumably in people's pockets, okay? Presumably in people's pockets. The Pentagon found it overestimated the amount of funding for ammunition, missiles, and other equipment it sent to Ukraine by $6.2 billion due to an accounting error. Spokesperson said more than double the amount previously disclosed. It breaks down to $3.6 billion for 2023 and $2.6 billion for the year last year, 2022, adding that the errors did not impact the size of presidential drawdown authority or support for Ukraine. Guys, just because we can't account for $6 billion does not mean we need to reduce the support for Ukraine. Guys, don't care about the $6 billion that's unaccounted for. Okay, look, it's going to a good place, right? Military, industrial complex contracts, right?
Did you see that video, DZ, that was circulating on Twitter? I think I saw it on Twitter, of the guy that was like, I don't remember what city it was. There was some major city that the government, they gave $44 million to the city. So the guy was going around and he was like, oh, Biden just voted in. He's giving your city $44 million. What do you want to do with it? And people are like, oh, we need better food. Some people were like, oh, we need better cops. We need to crack down on drugs. The drugs are on the street. He's like, oh, don't worry. Biden has a better idea. That $44 million is going towards electric bus charging stations.
The grift is in. That's all that is.
We're helping cities, though. Electric buses will solve America's problems once and for all. $44 million for one city. Good stuff.
Don't forget the Rumsfeld speech. How much missing then? Of course, the famous speech, Donald Rumsfeld, the previous Department of Defense Secretary, I believe he gave the day before 9/11. Yeah, I believe that was his title. I have to double check that. All right. Department of Security. No, they didn't even have that then. I have to double check what his title was. All right. Over 2,400 companies, including Binance's UK office, share a small Suffolk building. What is going on? 2,400 companies out of one building. What is this, a P.O. box? And a Monday on our Buttcoin subreddit, I used to look at that. It's basically trolls in the crypto space. Solana Whale, speaking of trolls, shared the address of a so-called utility closet that a firm called Binance Limited uses as a registered office address in the UK. It's in the town of Mildenhall in Suffolk County, England. Shows the site's a small nondescript garage building. Search for this shows Binance Limited shows the address with 2,403 companies in total. Hold on. The real owner of the address, though, is a company called OfficeServe, virtual registered address service provider that gives believable business location services. Okay. Binance spokesperson said is not affiliated with the exchange, adding that they've issued a cease and desist order. Some of the common uses of shell companies: tax planning, privacy protection, business ventures, mergers, acquisitions, and real estate investments. Let's see. The world's largest registered agent service firm. It's used by thousands of businesses, including Google, Walmart, Coca-Cola, and Apple. So maybe not worry about it too much. Sometimes you'll need an office in a certain state. If you're incorporated in Delaware, you might use something like this. Get mail forwarded there, then you send it to your corporate office. Again, what did I just say 3 minutes ago? The grift is in. The grift is in. This is just a grift for corporate America to unburden themselves with their percentage of the tax bill, which, will be marketed. Hey, corporate America, we're looking at the numbers. They're going to pay 60% of the taxes and the 40% come from you. And then you're like, well, wait a minute. How come they only did 30% or 20%? This is the grift. The grift is in. All right. U.S. House Committee to vote on crypto and stable coin legislation in July. Here's someone rocking the bow tie. All right.
Doesn't that look like Mr. Peabody?
Peabody. I don't know who that is.
Well, the cartoon, like
what is that?
The dog cartoon. Peabody. There was a kids movie that came out here just a little bit ago. That's like the human embodiment. The human embodiment of Mr. Peabody.
What is it called? The Peabodys?
No. A person's name is Mr. Peabody.
What is the cartoon called?
It was a cartoon movie. I don't know.
What is the movie called?
Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Yeah, you're making things up. That never existed.
Okay.
Never existed.
Fair.
All right. Now this is Patrick McHenry here, U.S. State Congressman. The Congressional Committee drafting new rules for digital assets plans to debate and likely advance 2 new laws in the second week of July. It's almost the week of my birthday. He's a representative Republican out of North Carolina, told his panel this morning that he plans to hold a session on debating, changing, and likely advancing legislation that would create a more distinct pathway for digital assets to transition from security investments to commodities, which have lower reporting and regulatory requirements. Yeah, we would love all these things being labeled as securities to be labeled as commodities, although some of them probably are securities, as a fair assessment. The committee will also debate a separate bill, the second one, to create a comprehensive framework for stablecoins, primarily written by McHenry and French Hill, Republican out of Arkansas. So McHenry, I believe, semi-favorable towards cryptocurrency. So I think we'd rather have his proposal rather than Elizabeth Warren. So
I got the movie wrong. Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Okay, kind of looks familiar. It's the dog with the glasses that looks like Drew Carey. Kind of looks familiar. $5 Mr. Peabody and Sherman, classic cartoon. I feel bad. No, look, okay, I grew up with Ninja Turtles. All right, pretty cool. What else? Doug, Rugrats. All right, don't feel bad for me. Okay, original Looney Tunes, Animaniacs. I did just fine. Okay. Hey Arnold was like right around, I was getting out of cartoons around Hey Arnold, so never saw that one. The one cartoon I would say, maybe it would have been okay. SpongeBob. Are you young enough to have watched SpongeBob?
I'm young enough to have watched SpongeBob. I didn't watch it that much because my mom thought that they were disrespectful on that show and didn't want me to watch it. You know what my favorite cartoon was, though? The Batman animated series. That was a really, really good one. Gargoyles is pretty cool, too. Yeah. Pinky and the Brain. I did love that section of Animaniacs. But yeah, X-Men previously on X-Men. Wolverine is simping over Jean Grey. All right, let's move on. Let's move on here. Sorry, Logan. We love all our Logans here. U.S. agencies to take on crypto crimes with new task forces. It's going to be like the Space Force. They announced the formation of Darknet Marketplace and Digital Currency Crimes Task Force. That just seems stupid. DMAD. DMAD. CC. It doesn't even spell anything, which will collaborate on crimes involving darknet and digital currency. They want to focus on cryptocurrency-enabled crimes such as drug trafficking, money laundering, identity theft, and child exploitation. I think it's a good thing. I think the vast majority of people just want to use crypto for a little self-sovereignty, but there are bad actors selling, anything involving those 4 things, especially the last 3 there. I don't know how big a deal drug trafficking is. The agencies across the globe are developing specialized units for crypto enforcement. The new task force will have an international reach
as they have 93 overseas locations in 56 countries. Chainalysis published a report highlighting how crypto crime accounted for a record-setting worth $20 billion of transactions in 2022. I don't know how they can really measure that accurately. How can they measure that accurately? I don't think they can.
They just make stuff up in there.
Yeah, that's a made-up number. If there's one thing we learned since 2020, it's the so-called experts. You can push them into any kind of number you want. You want it to be effective, we'll give you numbers that it's effective. You want it to be ineffective, we'll give you numbers that's ineffective. Whatever narrative you want, tell us that, and we'll give you the numbers to support that. 20 billion, I feel like that's just kind of made up there. All right, Roadrunner Coyote, good stuff. Samurai Jack, a little bit of Samurai Jack's. Dexter's Laboratory. Let's see. Biker Mice from Mars. Don't know that one. Me and Ben never getting in the ring. Why? We like each other. That would never happen. All right, Miss Dinosaurs. Okay. Speed Racer. Speed Racer was okay too. All right, uncovering Ethereum's close ties to Chinese money. How about this, Tim? What is the best cartoon ever? I gotta probably give it to Looney Tunes, just because it's a classic
there are
and it
some on
stood
there.
the test of time.
What's his name? One of my favorite from Looney Tunes, like the Looney Tunes genre would. What's the rooster's name?
Foghorn Leghorn or whatever. He's a great character. There's classic cartoons from it, like the Frog Symphony one.
Listen, my jam was that if it was on, there was just nothing I was gonna watch instead. Tom and Jerry was my go-to.
Okay,
show.
Tom and Jerry. I was always scared
phenomenal.
of the cartoon mother. Captain Planet, he's our hero. All right, Ultraman, Ren and Stimpy was a good one. Jetsons, okay. Simpsons, I could give it to Simpsons. South Park, okay, all good choices. I would. I really do like Rick and Morty.
Would we classify Simpsons as like a kid cartoon?
Yeah, I guess I said cartoons instead of kids cartoons. Because if by that metric, I'd say Rick and Morty is better than the Simpsons.
If you open up to all cartoons, Bob's Burgers is probably my favorite.
Bob's Burgers is great
cartoon,
stuff. I love some Bob's Burgers.
Not a kids cartoon, so.
That was my Tina. All right, uncovering Ethereum's close ties to Chinese money. Most information about Ethereum is in English and as a result appeals to Western investors. However, evidence uncovered by the Freedom of Information Act requests, court cases, online archives point to a heavy Chinese influence. I can definitely see that with some of the Tron people being involved in early Ethereum. Published a Chinese language version of the Ethereum white paper 2015, more than 6 months before the mainnet went live. Okay, so, I don't think it's anything weird to ensure the white papers publish in, I believe, Cantonese. His interest in speaking Chinese, when you are an alien, you probably just want to know all the languages. They hosted a conference in China. It was in Shanghai in 2016. Okay, Ethereum Foundation board member Ming Chan sang the praises of China to attendees. Shanghai is a good financial hub. All right. And they're ex-Alibaba partners, an old version of the Ethereum website named Chinese partners, including ex-Alibaba engineer Ben Liu and senior product expert Jerry Liu. Liu also worked at IBM China. Okay, so they got some Chinese, not VCs, but advisors in the early structure. And from 2015 to 22, Ethereum used proof of work and paid miners to secure its blockchain. One of the largest Ethereum miners was Chinese. Yeah, I think, F2 pool is huge with, making sure the network was secure over the past. And the Bank of China chooses Ethereum. The Bank of China itself chose the blockchain over a myriad of competitors and even its own permission blockchains when it issued 28 million in tokenized structured notes. And we'll just end it with this: SEC's director connection to Chinese pro-Ethereum money, which we're talking about, the William Hinman's Chinese connection. So we're seeing a lot of connections there.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all about that. All right, are we ready for a little CT minute brought to you by Stake? And one more time, make sure you go to HitSlots or kick.com/HitSlots if you want to see some action. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit later this afternoon. All right, a lot of people doing anime for their cartoons as well. Let's just get into it now.
Yeah.
Do you watch anime, Tim?
No, I've seen a couple episodes here and there. I feel like the problem with anime in my book is I've known too many people that are just too fanatical about it, and they always overpromise, and then I watch a little bit of it, and I'm like, maybe the storytelling isn't even that bad. It's just people act like it's the greatest.
Yeah, you
thing
remind
ever.
me. I had a theory. I haven't said it in a while. That if you watch anime, it'll make you less. It will make you socially awkward. The more you watch anime, the
Maybe
more
that's
socially
it.
awkward
I
you
don't
become.
know.
Now, hear me out. Have you seen some animes? There's one thing that animes do more than other cartoons, and that is an internal monologue of the protagonist.
Yeah.
And I feel like you watch this show with internal monologues, and I watched Death Note full of internal monologues. I found towards the end of the show, I started having more internal monologues similar to the characters, where me and Tim might be disagreeing about Bitcoin's price. And in my mind, I'm like, you idiot, you have no idea my vast knowledge of Bitcoin. If only you could tell. Wait till the future shows. I will show you $95,000 Bitcoin.
And your lips are just at a completely different.
And you find yourself, next thing you know, you're the nerd, like, hey, Miss, Williams, can I go to the restroom? You're a 10th grader in Middletown, America. You watch a lot of, instead of, after you finish your test, instead of saying, okay, finish your test, you then have your internal monologue where she's this villain, like, oh, you deny me my right to alleviate my bladder. Well, wait till after the school. You turn into this weirdo. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just getting everybody who likes anime mad at me now. That being said, Death Note is awesome. I love Death Note. Give me another one to watch.
Even the people in chat that are going to support and say anime is awesome, you cannot deny in chat, every single one of us knows the kid that is exactly what DZ.
Yeah, they wear a dragon button-up shirt.
Yeah. Someone calls them a name in school, and they start breaking down their kung fu, and they have that internal monologue about how they're about to destroy the bully.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not an internal. I've seen kids that had that internal monologue, but they say it out loud as if they're in a story and they're telling us. They want us to hear their internal monologue.
Yeah, and you got the mom saying, hey, put your dish up after dinner. It's like, if only she knew the power that I have within. You're like, just put your plate up.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. All right. Let's get a Twitter minute brought to you by Steak. All right. So first, I don't have that many tweets. I do just want to share Altcoin Daily. Thank you for this. Why did Elon Musk suspend ATB Daily? Hey, if you want a free airdrop, there might be something here. If you have a blue check mark, it's only for people with blue check marks. Also, Mind Your Biz did a really good job helping raise awareness for ATB Daily. So thank you, Mind Your Biz. Thank you, Altcoin Daily. And thank you all the other guests. I saw the retweets. I just don't have time for them all. So really, really do want to appreciate the support that you showed there. I just retweeted when I bought the dip. So I got in at 25 cents, 0.6. So 25.6 cents there. So I got in, I put my, money where my mouth is. I said, you know what? Cardano at a quarter is cheap and I'm going to buy some. So what did I do? I bought some today on a day like this. I just want to say, hey, told you to buy some. Why didn't you listen to me? All right, now it's time for the likes, everybody. Someone said Bitcoin above 30.
Yeah, it's at 30,150.
30,000. All right, everybody, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit it.
Is that Gecko? Gecko hasn't caught up yet?
They're stupid. All right, yeah. Well, we know what it did. All right, first let's get to, let me start at the bottom and then go up here. Ben, okay, I think it's starting. Oh, wait, nope, Dan. All right, yeah, all right. So here we go. We're starting here with Crypto Recruiter, also known as Dan. Dan, probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite guest on ATB. Dan, would love to get you on again.
Guess what's
He's
happening?
busy, though.
He's going to be doing TA on Friday. For this show.
Dan?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna ask him. No, I'm not gonna ask him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
All right. Here's just a good breakdown talking about the BlackRock recruiter exposing their manipulation and control exerted by financial institutions. He did just a really good breakdown of the James O'Keefe tweet there, where they got someone on video where he says BlackRock decides people's fates. It's not who the president is, it's who's controlling the wallet of the president. You got 10K, you can buy a senator. War is real effing good for business. So there's a little Hosky reaction there. Gotta love the Hosky there. All right. So yeah, he did a really good breakdown on that. So if you want to learn more, check that out. Eric Wall. This is a little shot at XRP. Can't get over how the third biggest narrative in crypto for like all its lifetime was banks are going to use this coin as a bridge currency to swap between when they make FX transactions, which this one private company owns 60% of, and it will become worth trillions. I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good point. You know, that is a little odd. That was the narrative there. I always this was the narrative that led to a $589 coin. I always thought it was a little bit of an odd narrative that didn't make much sense to me, that banks would want to custody the asset when there's a private company that owns so much of it. So maybe something there. Hey, here's Hourglass. They're doing really, really cool stuff with the season premiere of that one show, the next crypto gym. So they're doing really good things. We do like the Hourglass team there. So make sure you give them a little follow there. All right. Mario, he was a punk, crypto punk. I don't know if he was like into the Sex Pistols. Meta to release a Twitter rival called Threads. Not making this up. Yeah, that's right. Mark Zuckerberg, he wants to try to do a Twitter clone there. You know, maybe we'll talk about that. Here is hidden out. This is money. Okay, guys, this can make you some money. I don't know. I think this will make you some money. If you got a .swoosh, you got some Fortnite, guys. Hidden alpha. There's hidden alpha. Basically, it just goes into, I think, you know, it's just been 10 plus minutes. I've heard it could be as long as 25 minutes. So if you do some things, you're going to receive a shoe June 28th. And then you can buy a pack that also includes NFT bonus. So you guys spend money for this one, but there's something you could do to earn a free one. And then you're going to be able to claim this achievement NFT. No defined utility, but I wouldn't be surprised if they announced something. Guys, I'm not saying there's going to be utility. I'm not going to say that free airdrop's going to be worth $1,000, but I do know it's probably going to be worth something. Here, Hosky couldn't help themselves. Today, I learned the U.S. government accidentally sent $6 billion to Ukraine. Meanwhile, if I PayPal $69 to a friend, I have 69,000 IRS agents watching my every move. Talk about disproportionate scrutiny. Greg also had a piece to say. So you're telling me we can actually send another country $6.2 billion, but if I send my friend $14 on Venmo, I have 87,000 IRS agents watching me. Looks like Greg beat Hosky by an hour there. Justin, they'll provide an additional $1.3 billion in additional aid, says Blinken. It comes just hours after revealed we'll give it they're given additional 6.3 due to an accounting error. So guys, the grift is in. Here, you know, a little coda action. That Gucci pendant is live, but it's already over. This is a message for Nick DiMondi. I'm kidding. This is just a funny way of looking at alcohol. Bro, do you want to go out tonight? We can drink a bunch and then feel bloated and tired. And tomorrow you can feel like you got hit by a truck. Come on, dude. Let's pay Uber surge pricing. But when you're 23, it sounds like such a good idea, right? And then we told him it was a $6.2 billion accounting error. We're stealing money. All right. And then last but not least, we have Snopes getting bodied by Elon Musk. Last ratio we were looking at was a 3-to-1 ratio. I think it was a Charles Hoskinson one. This is a lot higher than 3-to-1. This is close to a 30-to-1. Starlink, okay, they're talking about the submarine, which is a tragic event. Yes. And I hope it doesn't deter people from that spirit of adventure, that spirit of discovery. You know, and ocean is one of the last places on Earth where we can still have a spirit of discovery. There's that missing Titanic submersible was the missing submersible relying on satellites from Elon Musk's SpaceX to communicate? Well, the ship on surface level did use Starlink, but there's zero Starlink from sea communications because it doesn't penetrate water. It was, I think, radio frequency.
Anything that conducts electricity, you cannot have anything go through there. So like there's no signal coming.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense, right? Yeah. And so and then Elon Musk just said, you know, Starlink is a subsidiary of SpaceX, which Elon Musk runs. You can't even run a good psyop. Snopes, I used to believe Snopes 10 years ago. Like I went to Snopes. Now seeing stuff like this, they clearly have an agenda. It's totally ridiculous. I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating more than anything. All right. If you're in the gym with no inner monologue tone, you can lift more than that guy over there. Do you even lift? All right. Gym is the one place for a good inner monologue. I just say don't be a P word. Honestly, I'll say that probably 50 times. Don't be a P word. Just do it. Just don't be a P word. Do it. But even put your phone down. Don't be a P word.
I've talked to myself in the gym, but I actually talk out loud, or I like whisper under my breath. I don't have an inner, and the inner monologue would be more like, you are the strongest man in this gym. No one is stronger than you. No, that's not like, it's not what I do in the gym. I also don't, I just kind of zone out. Like gym for me is like meditation. Like it's just like, hey, just chill. Like this is your time to be in your own space, do your own thing.
Do you find yourself opening social media between sets?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Yeah. Then you use it as a meditative exercise, which is a good thing. Break. Yeah, we did
we
it.
broke that.
We did it. But then when
Nick
I pulled
thought
up
he was
CoinGecko,
special,
it's
come in here, break it,
29,986 or something. So it didn't exactly pop on camera.
Yep.
All right, let's try one more time. One more again. All right, guys, this is breaking news. I heard we're at 30K. This just happened, guys. We're hitting refresh. We're hitting refresh. We did it. 30,000. Woo, it happened just now. Guys, this just happened now. Whoa, I am long. Okay, all right. What do we have for our next crypto cage match? Is it on this? Cardano. All right, guys, you're asking the wrong person when it comes to a crypto cage match, and you throw in Cardano. You throw in Cardano. Now, if you did Cardano versus Ape, Cardano versus ETH, Cardano versus Bitcoin, now we got ourselves something. But this, I don't know, folks. Cardano versus Cosmos, aka Adam. Dang it, the Cosmos guy did just do a $777,000 donation for the Hotez debate. So dang it, now I like it a little bit more. I still got to choose Cardano. All right, well, let's actually do something here. All right, so we're going to click on Cosmos. We're going to look at, we're just going to use one metric, and that's going to be previous all-time high. Two metrics. Previous all-time high, as well as the second run-up in 2021 compared to first run-up. Guys, this looks very, very bullish, but I know what Cardano chart's going to look like. It's also going to look bullish. So see here, I've said this. There's two metrics on, that old coin. Here's DZ's old metrics. Did it sit at a new high in 21 versus 17? Okay, then it's probably good if it did. If it didn't, unlikely it will again. I'm not saying it won't. I just said it's unlikely. My second metric, when it had an all-time high in the first half of 2021, when Bitcoin hit its second all-time high, did it also hit an all-time high? That makes me think that coin just has a generally bullish outlook in the long term. If it did, all right, that also feels a little bit good. If it didn't, if it failed to set a second all-time high, well, maybe it's going to struggle in 2024. I'm not saying it will guarantee. It's just some of my metrics. So we see this passing with flying colors. And not only that, it pumped early, similar to Cardano. So Bitcoin put in its second all-time high in the first week of November. Here we can see the last week of September, which is roughly 5-6 weeks ahead of time. It put in a new all-time high. And then, a month after Bitcoin's all-time high, it put in another, or 2 months after. So this is a kind of a bullish narrative. This is probably, this is right along with the Bitcoin all-time high right there. So boom, it's still a relatively bullish narrative.
Are we doing
what I'm
breaking
seeing
news
here
from here on out, DZ? Because 30,600. We're about to probably hit 30,700.
Man, my long must be crushing it. I don't even want to look just yet. All right, let me finish this, and then we'll get into it. All right, so and then we look at the 1 year. All right, so currently $9, right? Is that where it's at? Right at $9. Boomer eyes, y'all. Boomer eyes. All right, then it looks like it can go up to 45. All right, that's a 5x. We have a 5x from today's price to all-time high. I feel bullish generally, but now we're looking at a 5x for Cosmos, guys. A 5x. Well, here you can see the similar thing play out. We had that first all-time high, first half of the year, and then the second half of the year we put in an all-time high. Obviously, it was higher in 21 than it was in the 2018 bull run. But now we're looking at, well, yes, 2 days ago was a quarter. Now we're just going to round up and say 30 cents. And then it hit an all-time high. Really, it was above $3, $3.09. So from a 5x to a 10x. So Cardano's low to its previous all-time high is a 10x. Cosmos today to its previous all-time high is a 5x. For that reason and that reason alone, I choose Cardano. Tim, what do you choose? Chat, what do you choose?
I mean, it's not hard for me. No offense to Adam. Adam's one that I actually don't hold it now. I'm sold out of a lot of those coins.
Yeah, like Adam.
I'm gonna
he
get
dyes
more.
his hair blonde. He works here. He's a jack of all trades. He helps with music. He can help with thumbs. He can help with editing. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, Adam's very diverse. Yeah, and it's good. It's good product.
Some of the best style in the building too.
But I'm going ADA. I mean, ADA is my second largest holding. So if I don't say ADA, I'm also going against myself. I just believe in the long term. I believe, despite the fact that being down. By the way, I'm one of the people predicting. I'm not convinced yet that the Cardano bottom's in. Still like it though as a project long term.
All right. Well, during the CT minute, you saw me liking all those tweets with the BlackRock leak. Well, that's what we're going to talk about right now. Similar to what happened with the Project Veritas stuff with James O'Keefe. What do we have? We have a deleted LinkedIn. Well, who's Sergey Varley? He's the guy that was in the video, and he has deleted his LinkedIn. He dropped the bombshell that exposed the recruiter. The latter revealed what the company takes part in, which includes corruption, bribery, and encouraging wars. Since being investigated, he has momentarily deleted his LinkedIn. However, the same has reappeared online. The journalist recently spoke to the recruiter who unintentionally leaked some of the company's secrets and how they essentially run the world without the public's knowledge. He said in one of the interactions with the O'Keefe ops operatives here, they don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere in the radar. I expect it's probably because it's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it. We've been screaming about BlackRock for years. We've been screaming about corruption. We've been screaming about how the elites are trying to pull strings without people really knowing. Well, this is literally proof right there. So the more we talk about it, the more we put BlackRock in a thumbnail, the more I start shouting from the rooftops, the more we can actually affect some change, because it's going to be one person at a time. Okay, so what do we have coming up? We have 4th of July. Let's all be that weirdo that brings, look, don't bring up the vax, okay? Don't bring up HOTES. Don't bring up UFOs. Just bring up BlackRock, okay? Don't bring up reproductive. Let's just bring up BlackRock, maybe bring up inflation, and then see where the conversation goes, because, yeah, we do need people. This is a good sell zone, okay? Well, could be. I have to look at that market cipher B.
DZ, on July 4th, if your family rejects you, just talk yourself up with an inner monologue. Get yourself going. Keep pushing through. The fight is on. I mean, we gotta, on a more serious note, like it is, like, just so people know, like, not that us talking about BlackRock, we're not going to take power away from BlackRock. BlackRock's very powerful, but they do lose power with people talking about them and the concept of what they do with their corruption.
Yeah.
So we need to keep that conversation going. Not that we are actually going to take power away from them in terms of long haul, but it does keep their power in check, that they know that they're being watched and they got to think about their moves a little more. They got to be more deceptive when they want to crush people. So,
all right. Well, here we have, just in with this quote right here. He talks about, you can buy your candidates. First, there's senators. These guys are effing cheap. You got 10 grand, you can buy a senator. You got 10 grand, you can buy a senator. I could give you 500K right now. No questions asked. Are you going to do what needs to be done? It doesn't matter who wins. They're in my pocket. I want to do it again. The price of bread, literally everything goes up and down. This is fantastic if you're trading. Volatility creates business opportunity to make profit. War is real effing good for business. It's exciting when shit goes wrong, right? This guy's evil, man. This guy's evil. And he's not even one of these like 80-year-old octogenarians that, I only got 5 more years on this world. I don't care if everyone's eating crickets in 10. This guy's like, looks like he's closer to my age. And so just to see him just so blithely working with the elites, it's frustrating.
Do you think that guy has inner monologues, DZ?
It is the same noise as a cricket's leg. It's like insects chittering.
I don't know. Maybe this quote was an accidental inner monologue that he accidentally said out loud.
It's the crab clicking noise of the predator. That's what his inner monologue is. All right, let's see. Ethereum flash loans. How equitable DeFi tech can upend traditional finance. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see this. This isn't anything new. We've talked about flash loans. It's flash loans is where you get the buy, the interactions, and then the sell all within the same Ethereum block. They enable anonymous lending with no collateral or liability. One of the most compelling examples of how DeFi can live up to its promise of creating a fair financial system. As it matures, its advantages over traditional finance will compound, possibly leading to mass adoption of the ETH network and higher ETH prices. Yeah, this is just the narrative that smart contracts are going to bring in traditional finance. We will see it. Permissionless just is better than permissioned. All right. Stablecoin time. Rate this niche. Is this the rate this niche?
I think so. I'm not 100% certain.
DeFi, stablecoins, DeFi likely to be SEC's next target in U.S. crypto crackdown. Stablecoins and DeFi are likely to become the next targets of the SEC on the crypto industry. Berenberg said in a report on Tuesday, they're looking to reduce the potential for unregulated DeFi protocols to serve as viable alternatives to regulated lenders and exchanges. Then they could target the stablecoins that serve as the lifeblood of DeFi. Berenberg also said the USDC is targeted by U.S. regulators. The impact on Coinbase revenue could be significant, noting that first quarter 23, they generated $200 million in net revenue from interest income earned on USDC reserve. So they're crushing it, making their little yield off, some of these larger institutional DeFi protocols there. So DeFi, rate this niche. How is DeFi going to do? All right, so we got 2 competing narratives here. We have the narrative that it is a better system. And then we have the narrative of regulators hate it because it's unregulated. And so these two systems are going to be at battle. BlackRock is seemingly signaling they want to backdoor their way into, flash loans and DeFi, but they're going to signal that it's bad. And so to me, this is ultimately DeFi will win because BlackRock wants it to win. And I don't mean to sound jaded right here, but I think that is what's going to be the pivotal point. Because what did we see right before BlackRock, Fidelity, all these ETFs? We saw Coinbase action from the SEC. We saw Binance US action. So we saw this huge FUD campaign while institutionals, investors are pouring in. I think we're going to see the same thing. We're going to see a FUD campaign on DeFi and stablecoins. Meanwhile, they're going to be rushing in. And so I think DeFi will win. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot still to unpack. I mean, even with the stablecoin conversation, DZ, I don't know if we have time on the show today to do it, but sometimes maybe we'll have to do something down the road with special memberships to hear certain conversations we have behind the scenes in our prep. Because DZ and I talked for, 10 minutes before the show, going back and forth on what Bitcoin's price is going to look like with all of these new ETFs coming out. Then we're also going to talk about what stablecoin's going to look like. I don't know. Do you want to get into some of that conversation? You want to say that for another day?
We'll save it. It's already past 12:30. We still got a XRP and a potential Q&A. They cannot measure my power level. Ha!
Wrapping that point up, though, I think that stable coins are going to play a significant factor. The question is, how regulated will they be? What will they look like? Will we see a lot of actual stable coins, or will we see a lot of CBDCs that operate like stable coins? There's a lot of question marks we still have about what the future looks like. Yeah. So got to kind of wait for that.
All right. KO Kev says, "Sup, people? What's up, Kev? How you doing? What's up? How are you?" All right. Let's see. Ripple brought to you by Stake. We got a little XRP segment. If you like XRP, please hit that like button. If you hate that I say it won't hit 589, also hit that like button. Prove me wrong by pumping XRP's price with the power of the thumbs up. Ripple CTO declares Coinbase's victory over the SEC. Here was this stock image of CTOs. All right, they achieved a small victory in the battle, believe David Schwartz, but there's a catch. He has the best flowing manes for having no hair on top.
That he's a brave man with that hairstyle. I'm not gonna lie. When you're but here's okay. Let me go back here. I think we can see that the comparison there. Scroll up just a little bit so they can see more of it side by side. That's a brave look to grow out the edges with such a fading top. But he's a brave man, and XRP are brave people. So
if you're on the C-suite of Ripple Labs, you're probably brave. All right. In a recent series of Twitter exchanges, Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal unveiled this Coinbase chief unveiled the latest developments in the battle with the SEC and Coinbase. Ripple CTO David Schwartz subsequently reacted to the tweet, expressing his thoughts on the matter. Here's Paul saying the Third Circuit just ruled that it'll retain jurisdiction over our challenge. Further reports due in 120 days. We're grateful that the court will continue to shine a bright light on the process. So it looks like they wanted to go to a more favorable district. They said, no, you're stuck in the third. Grewal's tweet revealed that Third Circuit had decided to maintain jurisdiction for the case here. The court's commitment to shed light on the opaque procedures was applauded by the legal chief. Schwartz described the situation as a roller coaster. And nonetheless, he conceded that many had anticipated Coinbase to receive no relief at all, initially perceiving the legal maneuver as a publicity stunt. Taking the positive stance, he interpreted the achievement as a victory. He further ironically speculated that the fact that the exchange obtained any relief suggested that their shared frustration with the SEC was resonating with at least one federal judge, possibly even more. So all right, we saw this with Ripple and SEC. There's going to be 87 different milestones. Who won this little battle? Well, it looks like this little battle, Coinbase won. People are getting pretty excited about it. Could lead to a settlement sooner than later, though. We'll see. He runs a local comic book store and plays Magic the Gathering religiously. Pretty good. That was pretty good. I bet he holds a couple Black Lotuses, right? Alpha. Nothing less, though. None of that beta crap. All right. One more XRP story. Millions of stolen XRP ripple through the exchanges after an epic heist here. This was from the Atomic Wallet hack aftermath there. Looks like millions of stolen XRP are resurfacing. If it's just millions, it's probably not going to be that bad or that big a deal. This is fell victim to allegedly orchestrated by North Korea. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what the intelligence agencies like for us to believe. The forensic team took to social media to share its findings, revealing the hackers were resorting to extensive money laundering tactics, creating new accounts, trying to conceal their tracks. The movement of funds became apparent when millions of tokens flooded exchanges, substantial amounts flowing into KuCoin, Binance, Whitebit, OKX, and Huobi. Adding to the unfolding drama, this Explorer team provided fresh updates on the whereabouts of the stolen XRP. 2 million tokens were reported to be on the move as they cycled through various exchanges in search of new opportunities to offload the funds. Showed that MEXC might be a viable channel for further transactions. Smaller increments of XRP were recently observed entering the platform there. So 18 million tokens still unaccounted for, around 20 million stolen total. What are we looking at? $7 million there today's, or maybe more, 10 million-ish, less than that at today's price. What is XRP right now? XRP, yeah, 50 cents. So we're looking at $10 million worth. And the crypto hacks go, 10 million is not too crazy there. Do we have any Q&As queued up?
Not that I really saw. I mean, I'm sure there were questions.
I was answering a lot along the way too. Coinbase going to win. You should let your hair grow. What do you think of Mutant Ape on Cardano? There's only one Yuga Labs. Anything else? Just I don't know how well it could do. Don't forgive Gary just yet. Never. The North remembers. Okay. It's just like when they cut Rob Stark's head off. What else? I think we need some more bear market. Hey, someone's trying to accumulate more. Hey, you got to buy the dips. Okay. Did you buy the dip last week? Okay. So that was a good opportunity. BlackRock needs Jesus 100%. That's pretty funny. Do you think Klaus Schwab would be mad if we started dressing in Star Trek clothes like him? Yeah. It's only for the elites. Okay. We can't all dress like corny Bond villains. That's only him. See movie Monopoly, Who Owns the World. All right, might look into it. All right, I think that's all we got.
Well, we will say on the way out, Bitcoin did touch $30,800. I would not be surprised if by the end of the day we have a new year-to-date high. We got to beat that $31,051 hit that we had back on April 14th. But the momentum's looking pretty good for it. So.
Yeah, I think I might up my stop loss. So just you want to share this chart real quick? Yeah. I have my stop loss at 27.9, and it was like right around there. So that way, if it fell below, I was still going to be in profit. Now I might move it up to 28.5. So hey, just further and further into profit, guys. Guys, don't forget to take profits. Let's trade responsibly. Don't just say YOLO. So now I see the bald. Where's the beautiful? Ha ha ha. On that note, I'm gonna go cry in the corner. We got pizza and wings.